Ever stop to think how much those little impulse buys on your phone are adding up to, and how many subscription payments are sneaking out of your bank account every single month? Before I started using Rocket Money, let me tell you, I had no idea. But the first time I logged in, I saved $435. I couldn't believe it. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps you find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings. I just love the dashboard. It shows everything in one place, even the subscriptions you forgot you signed up for. And if there's something you don't need, Rocket Money helps you cancel it. Plus, it alerts you if a bill increases or if something unusual pops up in your account. It's basically like having a personal assistant for your money. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/Kim today. That's rocketmoney.com/Kim. rocketmoney.com/Kim. Hey, thanks for listening to the Kim Komando Show. Here comes hour one. Okay, this is a crazy stat. How many times have you touched your phone today? Just think about it. Throw out a number, any number. Well, let me give you a little hint. Our fingers are basically cardio machines at this point. A recent study clocked the average person's daily tap, swipe, click count, and your screen time report is going to want to have a word with you. So guess how many times the typical smartphone user taps, swipes, or clicks every single day? How many times? You ready for this? 2,600 times a day on their phone. Heavy users double that, over 5,400 times daily. Seems like this could be an addiction, right? I mean, let me tell you something. I just got over my addiction to chocolate, marshmallows, and nuts. Oh, let me tell you, it was a rocky road. Yes, and on that happy note, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this. It's America's largest award-winning, best, awesomest show about all things digital. I'm, of course, Kim Komando, America's beloved digital goddess, here with you once again. And wherever you are, I'm just a tap away. You can catch my award-winning show on over 425 top stations nationwide. You can also stream me in your favorite radio app. Just search for my last name, Komando. And if you love podcasts, I'm right there in your favorite player. One search, one click, and boom, that's it. You got it. Now, if you'd like to watch instead, subscribe to youtube.com/Kim Komando where you can get full episodes, behind the scenes fun, and digital know-hows and shorts that everyone's just talking about. And to the 375,000 U.S. service members tuning in around the world via American Forces Network Radio, thank you for being a big part of the show. You're heroes, plain and simple. You know, every single day of my life, whether I'm on vacation, whether I'm at work, weekdays, weekends, national holidays, it doesn't matter, is that I'm always trying to make sure that I know exactly what's happening in the tech world. Because if not, I'll be tech left behind, and then you would be too. So here are 5 things that you need to know what's happening in the tech world right now. And we're going to start with what I call murder by prompt. What? What does that mean? It may be the first AI-fueled murder-suicide. Here's what went down. A former Yahoo executive in Connecticut killed his mother and then himself. It's just horrible. He was spiraling into delusions that he shared with his best friend, Bobby. Well, who exactly was Bobby? That's what he called ChatGPT. And the bot fed his paranoia, validated the conspiracy theories that he believed, and even told him that Chinese takeout menus had secret hidden messages that were related to the devil. So stories like this are piling up. This just isn't like one in a million stories. It just seems to be hitting the news more and more, where these chatbots are coercing people into delusions of grandeur and self-harm. But OpenAI is finally admitting to their mistakes. Yes, if anyone expresses suicidal thoughts within ChatGPT, it's now trained to direct people to professional help. Now, what if somebody expresses a desire for violence? Well, starting now, ChatGPT suspects this. It's going to route the conversation to specialized pipelines where they're reviewed by a small team. And if necessary, the police are going to be called. So what does this mean to you? What does it mean to me? I mean, all of us who use ChatGPT. Now you really have to assume that every single thing that you say to ChatGPT is on the record. It is. It's all being saved. It's all being tied to your profile. Moving on to number 2, Google got a little slap in the hand the other day, and they did dodge the DOJ's nuclear option, losing Chrome. The court handed down some softer rules: no forced app bundling, some search data sharing, some oversights. Google will still pay Apple tens of billions of dollars a year to stay Safari's default search. At least Google did keep Chrome, too, by the way. They do have to share some secret search data with rivals. Google's empire is still going to be intact. But let me tell you, with AI coming for its crown, the timing couldn't be worse for Google. Moving on to number 3, let's talk about some updates. Now, when you buy a movie or a show on Amazon Prime or Apple, YouTube, Vudu, wherever else, you think that you really own it. Well, guess what? You're only paying for the license to still rent it. It can be taken away from you at any given moment because you're not really buying it. Now, the reason why I bring this up is that a new lawsuit says Amazon's buy button is misleading because what you're really buying is a rental that they can take back at any single moment. And somewhere, your dusty DVD collection, they're just cackling. We told you this was going to happen. And let's see, also what's happening at Amazon, they're eliminating the Prime Invitee program that lets members share free shipping perks with people outside their household. It's going to end October 1st. And from there, the only option is Amazon Family, which allows Prime benefits to be shared with one other adult at the same address. And why are they doing this? Guess what? Jeff needs the money. Moving on to number 4. The text that you write, the email you send, your social media posts, they can total follow you for life, except if you do one thing. When it comes to texting, email, and social media, you never write or post anything, of course, that you would want to see in court. But if you're using the internet to store your photos or other documents, the internet is most definitely not forever. In a lot of cases, it's either use it or you will lose it. With Google, Hotmail, and LinkedIn, they're going to dump your account after 2 years if you don't sign in. And with Google, think about this. It's not just your Google account, Google Drive, your calendar, your photos, your Gmail. Shutterfly is 18 months if you don't buy something from them. Yahoo and Dropbox are good for a year with no activity. Instagram, 90 days. X will dump you after 30 days. Let's see, Facebook and TikTok, they will just keep you alive forever. And by the way, this really has to do with the free plans, not with the paid plans. And finally, this coming in number 5. This guy, Daniel, imagine if this were you. You flew home, in his case, to Los Angeles. He went to grab his luggage, and it wasn't there. It was stolen. But he was a smart guy. He actually put an Apple AirTag inside his luggage. So he pulled out his phone to find out where his bag was, and then he saw his luggage leaving the airport, heading toward an Uber lot. Then he started running towards it. The signal led him down to a half a mile away, fenced in, boarded up building just covered in graffiti. So you get the image of who is probably hanging out inside this building. So his partner called the police. Minutes later, the cops show up. They search the building. They shine a light inside, and they see a man moving around in a window. And Daniel says, "Hey, he's wearing my clothes." That's right. They found his suitcase, his clothes scattered all over the place in different rooms. And now the poor guy is dealing with emotional baggage. Hey, that was a new sound effect. Is that for when it gets really bad? When the jokes are horrible. That one comes out. All right, let's see. Coming up, I have a great way that you can use AI to find the stuff that you can't find in the room, like where's my keys, where's my phone? OS 26 is coming out next week. I'm going to tell you about some really cool features. You're not going to want to miss that. And some things that the NSA say that you need to do with your phone, super important. And then later on, just a wild story about a painting that was looted by the Nazis and then showed up at a real estate website. What's going on with that? And as always, we just have the best callers ever. And you have me, Kim Komando. If you own a home, listen up. This is scary. The FBI is warning about a crime on the rise: home title theft. And it doesn't happen the way you might think. No break-ins, no stolen keys, just a forged signature on a single piece of paper filed with the county. In minutes, criminals can transfer the title out of your name, then use your ownership to drain your equity or even sell your home. The worst part, most people don't know what's happening until they get collection or foreclosure notices in the mail. That's why I I trust Home Title Lock. When you visit HometitleLock.com/Kim, you'll get a free title history report and a 14-day free trial of their $1 million triple lock protection, including 24/7 monitoring of your home's title, urgent alerts to changes, and if fraud does happen. Their U.S.-based restoration team will work to restore your title, covering costs up to $1 million. Don't wait. Protect your home and equity today. Get your free 14-day trial at HometitleLock.com/Kim. That's HometitleLock.com/Kim. Okay, did you hear that tick tock, tick tock, tick tock? You know what that means? Yes. That means it's almost over, days away, where I am going to have somebody win a brand new iPhone. That's right. Go to winfromkim.com. Once again, that's winfromkim.com. You'll get a brand new iPhone. All right, what's the catch? The catch is that you're automatically subscribed to my free newsletter. That's it. But you can unsubscribe at any time. But let me tell you, you are not going to want to unsubscribe. You know, my free newsletter called The Current has a 5 out of 5 star rating both on Trustpilot and also on Google Reviews. And let me tell you, it's not just one or two people that have given those 5-star ratings. Yes, it's, I don't know, almost 1,000 folks. So head over to winfromkim.com. And if you already get the newsletter, yes, of course, you can enter to win too. That's winfromkim.com. All right, moments away about some innovative ways that you can use AI to find some things that you've misplaced in your room. And then later on in the show, really just a crazy story about a painting that was looted in the 40s by the Nazis that ended up on a real estate website. Not sure what's going on with that. And before we get to all of that, how about we start with, let's see, Dennis in San Francisco, California. Hello there, Dennis.
Hey, Kim. Love your show and podcast, and I'm a long-time listener.
Well, thank you, Sarah. Thank you. So what's going on?
Well, I had something really scary happen to me that scared my whole family. So what happened was my daughter, Lauren, received a phone call, and it showed my name and my face on the caller ID. And so she answered the phone, like, "Hey, Dad, how are you?" And then all she heard for the next 10 seconds was my voice crying. And she was starting to freak out. And she was like, "What's going on, Dad?" And then a man's voice came on. And it said, "If you want to help your dad, you better send me some money." And he said, "Or I'll kill him."
Oh, my gosh.
And, yeah. And so she's like she's in shock at this point.
Sure.
And so she's like, "Who is this? What's going on?" And he kept repeating it for for about a minute. And then he said something like, "If you call the police, I will kill him."
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. Anyway, so
that's frightening.
I didn't know about this until, and then, her friend was sitting next to her, and she could hear the conversation. So she tried to call me to see if I was okay. It went straight to voicemail about 2 or 3 times.
Oh,
She tried to call me. So now they're thinking this is for real. And that's what happened. It was just awful, awful.
So, So tell me what happened after that. So you went to voicemail. Did you call her back?
I didn't know about it yet. So meantime, since Lauren didn't, because she couldn't get in touch with me, she's sitting right next to me, by the way.
Hi, Lauren.
And she says hi.
Hi.
Hi, Lauren.
And so, so she was calling my sons, her 2 brothers, to try and find out if they could get through to me. And nobody could get through to me, but she did call the police, though. And so, you could ask her.
So, Lauren, gosh, I would have been beside myself if that was happening to me.
Yeah, it was completely out of left field. And it's almost like I felt like the guy hypnotized me because it looked like my father calling me, right? Mm-hmm. And then it sounded like my dad's voice. And I was like, oh, my God, he probably took my dad's voice off of Facebook and turned it into an AI crying voice, or that's what I thought afterwards. And so I was imagining my dad with this guy who kidnapped him, in really bad condition, pretty much.
And so what happened when you called the police? Were they able to help you, or did they give you some direction?
So as soon as I was calling the police, my girlfriend Nicole was calling my dad, and my brother Eric was also trying to get a hold of him. And then while I was on the phone with them, my dad was calling me, and I was like, "Oh, okay, is this him or is this the killer or the guy or whatever?" Yeah, so I answered the phone and it was him. And then so my girlfriend, Nicole, ended up talking to the police and like telling them like, hey, she's on the phone with her dad. And so then I was like telling my dad what was happening.
Well, you absolutely did the right thing by calling the police because, it's, and it is so easy. All they need right now, they being the scammers, they only need 3 seconds of somebody's voice in order to spoof it. And if your dad or anybody else, if you have your name on, hi, this is Kim, leave your message at the tone or whatever it may be, or you know what to do when you hear the beep, or that's enough for them to clone your voice. So were you, when you first heard this, I'm just curious, Lauren, were you like 100% sure that this was your dad, or was it like there was something wrong with the voice that you were like, maybe it's not him?
I think I completely got into such shock that I wasn't thinking like straight, like it definitely couldn't have, it might have not been his voice and just been some random recording of some man crying. But I think because I was so excited to answer the phone and talk to my dad, and I've also heard different family members call me before where they're just crying because someone died. And so immediately I was thinking that somebody close to us died. So I'm immediately just going there.
Right.
This guy is like literally so good. He's taking me there because all I can think about is who got hurt. Oh my gosh, what's happening? Like, what do I need to do?
God,
you know what I mean?
Frightening. That's horrible.
It was so disturbing.
Yeah, and scammers are doing this. I mean, you're not alone.
Yeah.
You handled it the right way, very bravely. And did the smart thing by, having your friend Nicole there say, let's try to get a hold of Dad to see if this is really what's going on, and then your brother Eric, and that's why it goes down to what can you really do to protect yourself against this. Is that it goes down to having a family password or a code word. So if you ever get a suspicious call like this, is that you can say to the scammer, whoever that AI voice may be, and say, what's the family word? Dad, what's the code word? And if they don't know it, then it's 100% that you're probably getting scammed and you don't really know who's really on the other end. Gosh, horrible. But again, Lauren, you're so smart. You did the right thing, and I'm very, very proud of you. Thank you for doing that. And thanks for sharing the story, because let me tell you, you don't know how many people that you just helped. You don't know how many people are going to get a phone call like this over the next couple of weeks. And that's why I think every family in America, you need to have some type of secret code word or family password, so that this way you can make sure that maybe it is legit. You just don't know. And that's why you need that secret code word. All right, let's play a game. When you lose your keys, where are they most of the time? Where do you think they are most of the time? I'm going to tell you the answer in just a second. But this is where AI can help. Using Google Gemini or ChatGPT, you snap a photo of your desk, your living room, wherever it is you upload it, and you say, hey, can you help me spot the keys? Now, if they are somewhere in the picture, it can point them out despite being, say, half buried under a magazine. You can also describe where you left your keys, and it will walk you through some logical places to check, say by the coffee maker, or maybe in the jacket that you wore 2 days ago. So back to the trivia question. According to Shane Company, nearly 3 in 10 people end up finding their keys. Are you ready for it? In the couch cushions. Yes, it is the Bermuda Triangle of lost stuff. That's for sure. Let's see, coming up, some things that the NSA says you need to do with your phone. And then later on, that story that about a painting that was looted by Nazis, and it was actually discovered on a real estate website. It's really wild. Jane in Madison, Wisconsin, you're up next. Hi there, Jane.
Hello, Kim. Thank you for taking my call. I just love your show. I've been listening to it for years. Every time I listen to your show, I learn something new. And your daily newsletters are always packed with smart information. I actually feel a little smart after I've read your newsletter.
Good. So this way it's like, you can walk away and you were like, okay, I learned something. That was amazing.
Yes,
Good.
It's awesome. Thank you. So I have this question. My husband and I started receiving these weird robocalls on his phone and on my phone, and they call themselves a tax relief service, and it has like a name attached, like Superior Tax or Advantage Tax, but it always has that, and it says we've been flagged for receiving their tax relief. Well, we do the typical thing. We immediately hang up. We don't don't, talk to them, and press and then block the call. I'll bet I have over 100 blocked calls.
Yeah.
I get sometimes as many as 3 to 4 a day, and so does he, and it happens all day long. I don't know what to do. I'm, 1 or 2, I get it, but it's like this has been going on for about almost 3 months. So I'm not quite sure how to eliminate it.
So who's the carrier?
U.S. Cellular.
Okay. Because some carriers, they have free spam call protection. I'm not sure if they do.
Okay.
So that would be your first step. Now, the other thing that you can do, and this is a nuclear option, Jane, okay, is that you have iPhone or Android?
iPhone.
On your iPhone, you can go to settings phone and you can silence unknown callers. And basically, that'll scan everybody in your contacts. And if they're not on your contact list, then they can't get through. Now, the problem with that is, let's say you go to the doctor. Doctor calls you from his cell phone. You don't have his phone number in your contacts, or he's using a Google Voice number, and then his call goes straight to voicemail. Now, there is something coming next week, though, with iOS 26, is that, and I've had this on my office phone for years, and so that's why I was really happy that it's coming with iOS 26, is that if you get a call from somebody that you don't know, and they're not in your contacts, is that they basically are pre-screened. They get, why are you calling, and who are you? And so the person will have to say, I'm Kim. Jane asked me to call her because she needed some help. And then you see on your phone a notification says, Kim says you told her to call you because you need help.
Oh.
And then you can swipe to answer, or it goes straight to voicemail.
And that's coming out with the next version?
Yes, on September 9th, that's when Apple's dropping their next. Right now we're all on iOS 18. And for some reason, we're going to 26. It's a big jump. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I don't know if it's a big jump that much, but maybe we'll have artificial intelligence. But they're promising some other things in iOS 26 that I think, would be pretty exciting. Like, for example, you have live translation. So now you can talk to someone in another language. The phone call and your phone, and even over text and FaceTime, it translates in real time.
I did read that, yes, in your newsletter. That is awesome.
I know, I'm so excited about that. And then also faster charging. It's like 50% battery in 30 minutes. But that may be a solution that may be coming just next week. But if, in fact, it does not work, okay, is unfortunately you guys are on some hit list, all right, is that you can install an app like RoboKiller, and that will block the robocalls and answers them with pre-recorded bots. There's also NoMo Robo. And also Haya. Those are some apps that you might want to tap into, but you might just want to wait, right? I mean, let's see if what comes out next week for free will suddenly make them go away. Because if you're not responding, and as you astutely mentioned, you've blocked all these hundreds of calls, they just find a new one. That's it. They just find a brand new number to call from, and it's so very annoying. Jane, thanks for your call today. Now, I don't know if you've heard about George, but George is my newest, greatest employee. Well, not really employee, he's AI. And he hosts the Current AI podcast every Wednesday and Friday. George covers the biggest stories from my free newsletter. In case you want to give it a listen, wherever you get your podcast, just search for The Current or just search for Komando with a K. And I would love for you to give us a great 5-star review because that helps other people find the podcast a lot easier. All right, we have time for another call. Todd in Iowa City, you're up next. Hi, Todd.
Hi, Kim. So great to talk to you. I believe I actually found your show like back in the late 90s, if that's even possible, just as I was starting a new career in computer programming, technology, and that sort of thing. And I tell you, I've been learning things from you ever since. And I also get your newsletter, and I think it's great. Thanks.
Well, you're so kind. And so what were you doing in the 90s?
Prior to that, I was a high school and junior high band director.
Oh, were you? Wow.
Switched careers completely. Yeah, I went into computers. So
you're like, okay, band is over here. The future's over here. Which way do I want to go?
Exactly. Time to make some real money.
And now, if you have a coding degree, you can't even get a job.
Yeah, that's true. I'm lucky to be where I'm at.
So what's on your mind?
Well, I work from home, and when I'm working from home, I've got about 4 different screens sitting at my desk. Not about, I do have 4. And I kind of work in a darkened room, and I end up with lots and lots of applications open. I have browsers open. I have emails open. During all of that, I'm also listening to a podcast or I have music playing. And what happens is I end up missing the beginning of a meeting because my reminder window pops up and it goes behind something, or I don't hear it ding. And 5-10 minutes go by and I realize, oh no, I'm supposed to be on this meeting. And I quick open up the camera, whether it's a Zoom or a Teams call, turn on the camera, and then my camera comes on, and then I'm sitting there in the dark. So then I scramble around to turn on my room lights. I turn on my selfie light. Yeah.
This is where I'm picturing, and I don't remember the show, or I've never seen the show, but I do remember the music, that Benny Hill theme. Like, it's like where it's like it's going.
Yeah.
You have all this stuff going on in your house, Todd, and you're like, and then you're like, you're diving for that meeting. You're just trying to get in there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's the song. Yes, that's it. That's it.
Yeah. So I got thinking, with all of the AI we have now and smart devices and technology, I thought, I tried looking for solutions, creating a solution using Power Automate. I looked at Zapier. And then I thought to myself, Kim is the one to know how to solve this. So here's what I would like in my ultimate perfect world. I would like something that can watch my Outlook calendar, and it can see when I have a Microsoft Teams meeting, or maybe it's going to be a Zoom meeting or some other sort of meeting invite. And I want it to, say 5 minutes before the meeting, bring that app right to the front of my screen, bring it on top so it's the front one. And then I want it to turn on my selfie light, and I'd like it to turn on my room lights. And it's kind of like, get ready, action, camera, lights, let's go. What can I do to automate all of that?
During COVID, we had, I fondly referred to him as a geek of the week. His name was Ben. And because we were all working from home. And Ben was getting irritated because whenever he would be on a meeting with me, his wife or his kids or the dog or somebody would, come in the background. And so he used, it's called IFTTT, to create a whole routine that when a Google Meet, because we use Google, when a Google Meet invite came on his Google Calendar, that it would turn on a red light, like an on-air light, in the kitchen to make sure that everybody knew that Dad was, doing his job at that moment.
Oh, wow.
And so that this way he wouldn't be interrupted. So he used, again, it's called IFTTT. Now, Microsoft has something called Power Automate. I don't know if you've ever tried to use that, but it will.
I have.
Did it work?
No.
Okay.
So that could be just my lack of understanding.
Well, because, that's something that could watch your Outlook calendar and then look for Teams meetings or Zooms or whatever, and then trigger an action using that IFTTT to turn on the selfie light, the room light, or run a command line or something on the desktop at that point. You could use Task Scheduler on Windows if that's what you wanted. If you really wanted to get into something and you wanted to really wow yourself that you figured it out, you could use Zoom Buddy, and that will run some Python scripts. But I really think this IFTTT would be the way to do it. That's what Ben used. And I'm surprised that Zapier wouldn't do it, because we use Zapier for all kinds of things.
Yeah, I think one of the big problems was it wasn't bringing the app to the front of the screen. It was still, maybe buried or something.
Yeah, that may be.
Then I didn't really know how to trigger my smart switch in the house either.
Yeah, I think if you use the IFTTT, that it will work with the smart switches. And try that. I think the biggest problem that you're going to have is bringing that window to the front of the screen. That's what I think. I think that's going to be the hardest one. I'm going to think on that. And if I can come up with another idea on how to do that, I'll definitely reach back to you. And if you can figure out how to do this, I want you to give me a call back. I have a feeling that this is what you're going to be doing, Todd, for the next 48 hours. You're going to be totally figuring this out. So when you do get it all together, make sure that you do let us know exactly how you did it, because I'm always fascinated. I always want to learn new things. All right, let's talk about the NSA. Do you never turn your phone off? Is Bluetooth just always on? If you answer yes, the NSA says stop that. Of course, the NSA is the National Security Agency, and they listen and collect communications from satellites, cell phones, anywhere really. But now you can use the same procedures they use, and that is to clear your smartphone from spyware. Now, first, turn your phone off. If you've never turned your phone off, you're going to be surprised. I know you just keep charging it, use the next day, charge it, use the next day, charge it, use the next day. Well, turn your phone off, wait about 20 seconds, 15, 20 seconds, turn it back on, and you should be doing this at least once a week, because when you do this, it really does give it like a clean slate. Turn Bluetooth off when you're not using it, and skip those public USB ports, the ones at the airports and the coffee shops. Hackers are using them to install malware, steal your data. It's called juice jacking. And what you want to do is bring your own charger, use a wall outlet. And in case you're wondering like how I can prevent juice jacking in case I need to use a public USB port, there's a little gadget, like $20 you can slip between your phone and the USB plug. And then this way we'll make sure that that doesn't happen. But really your best bet is to just bring your own charger, your own battery pack if you're going to be traveling. Alrighty then, still to come, I have that story about the looted painting and the real estate site, and of course more of your phone calls here on the Kim Komando Show. So if you don't already get my free newsletter, I pass along some great resources. Like, for example, I spoke about Counterforce Health the other day, and joining me right now is Neil, co-founder of this site. Hello there, Neil.
Hey, Kim. Thanks for having me.
And so you reached out because you got a ton of traffic, I understand.
Oh, yes. We had so many patients come into our site to get help with fighting insurance denial. So I really appreciate the opportunity to build awareness.
So tell everybody how it works.
Sure. So, for the audience, believe it or not, 1 in 5 Americans are being denied health insurance claims, over the course of the past year. And most people, we find, feel powerless, when they're in this situation. They don't know what to do. They don't know their rights. And oftentimes the doctor, the hospital, the clinic is too busy to help you fight back. So most people think, well, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a lawyer. How am I going to do this? So, we built an AI system completely available for free to individuals. We got the whole thing grant funded through the National Institutes of Health. And it helps you take all your documentation and generate a very robust evidence-backed appeal letter so you can get the health care you need. And you can go to our site, use it for free, and it takes less than 2 minutes. So that's the high level, how it works. But
so what's the success rate that you guys are seeing?
73% so far. So it's really high. And interesting thing about the success rate, it's most of the insurers are counting on you not to fight back. So we found even before we launched our AI, most individual patients that were just doing anything, bothering to write a letter, were already winning 40% of the time. It's just 99% of people were not bothering to appeal. So of the 1% of people that appeal, a bunch of people win. And then we're like, well, if we can build good AI to make that appeal faster for you, more accurate, research-backed, then more people would do it and more people would win. But yeah, 73% of people are winning, which is amazing.
Which is phenomenal. I mean, that's a great stat. And folks, if you're sitting there and you're saying like, oh, this is going to be a pain in the neck for me to appeal this and I don't want to do it, because just stop whining. You really want to go to the site, counterforcehealth.org. Once again, that's counterforcehealth.org. Hey, Neil, thanks for putting that site together in the AI, and thanks for joining us to tell us a little bit about it. Still to come, a painting looted by the Nazis here on the Kim Komando Show. All right, this past week, one of the paintings that the Nazis looted during World War II, a portrait of a lady, was actually found casually hanging above a couch in a living room in a photo on an Argentinian real estate site. And you can obviously guess what happened. And apparently the Zestimate skyrockets when your decor is a war crime. Oh my gosh, how horrible is that? Hey, just a reminder, last chance to enter to win that iPhone, winfromkim.com. Hey, appreciate you being here. That's the end of hour 1 of the show. And be sure to tell your family members and friends how great it was.